Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Doki Doki Literature Club. Side stories. All right, it's time today for Balance Part 2. Now, it seems once again that this is a side story about Sayori working on her shit. And, well, I kind of enjoy that, actually, because her story in the main game is kind of just like misery porn. Like, bad things happen to her, nothing really gets better, and she doesn't get the opportunity to work on the issues that present themselves. It's very frustrating for me as a therapist, someone who trains to identify and look for opportunities to improve things. But like you've seen it in the series, I just am seeing these terrible things coming from a mile away, and there's nothing anyone can do about it, really, except for Sayori, and well, she never got that opportunity. So I love that these side stories she's been in have given her the opportunity, and really all of the girls, to like just work on stuff. You just don't really get that in most stories, but especially games like this. So these side stories have been much less misery porn and more healing tourism, which I've really enjoyed. So let's start Balance Part 2. It's lunchtime. Sayori, who usually buys her lunch, is making her way to the cafeteria like another day. Sorry, there was a cat butt in the way. Like any other day. The clamor and bustle of the students is drowned by Sayori's impeccable skill of zoning out. However, her imagination is momentarily interrupted by the glimpse of a familiar pink-haired girl. Hey, that's Natsuki. I know. We'll have to wait now until the cat decides she has some other place to be than directly in front of the reading box here. I never run into the other club members around the school. Natsuki! Sayori stands on her tiptoes and waves. Natsuki, who's busy walking and chatting with her friends, doesn't notice Sayori at first. Then she glances over in Sayori's direction. Sayori waves enthusiastically. Oh, I hope she doesn't just get straight up ignored. Following her friends, Natsuki quickly ducks around the corner. Hey! She definitely saw me. Monika's the first to arrive to the club meeting, then Natsuki. Is Monika going to be like the person who makes Sayori aware of this again? She has a way of weaseling herself into the center of every storyline that she's in, really. But she's very insightful. I mean, she has been so far, pointing these things out to the girls. Sayori, having glanced through the window to see Natsuki already inside, is unable to work up enough courage to enter. Natsuki's been so distant with me. It was stupid to think she ever wanted to be friends. She only got excited because she got to share her manga. But aside from that, she doesn't even like me. I should just go home today. A surprise, Yuri! Sorry, but do you plan on going inside? It would be great if it's Yuri who illuminates the problem to Sayori. As someone who's struggled with her own social comprehension, I think it'd be great. No. Why? I'm sulking. Oh. Well, I'm sorry for bothering you. Excuse me. No, don't leave me. I actually love Yuri, though, for that. She's so real. Like, just recognizing her own capacity. Like, oh, this person is sulking. That's not for me to intervene on. Some of us, you know, I think Sayori as well, very much on the people-pleasing, wanting to get involved. We don't like when things are out of balance. Sometimes it really creates its own anxiety in us. And so we always want to do something. But I think it takes a certain knowing of yourself. Or maybe it's just her own avoidance. Hard to tell. Could be both. For someone like Yuri to be like, oh, this person is like crying. I'll just leave them alone. That's okay. So also, it doesn't necessarily need the assumption that you must do something about it just because you came upon the crisis. She's just like, Sayori's sulking. Sorry to bother you. I'll leave you too. Oh, I don't want to go in. I'm afraid of bothering Natsuki. I saw her at lunch today, so I waved and called out to her. But instead of saying hi, she just ran away from me. Yeah, it's sort of this like thing I've been trying to tell myself, really since I was a teenager. You don't need to be involved in every conversation. Not everything deserves your opinion and input just because you have it. Like, just because I could say something doesn't mean I have to. Really? not bad. Hey! Sorry. I'm sorry. That was a joke. It sounded like something stupid that I would do. From anxiety. From anxiety? Well, I just don't like attention being drawn to myself. Oh. Yuri can illuminate the crisis to Sayori, because she actually relates quite a bit on this point to Natsuki. Well, that makes sense based on the person that you are. But Natsuki isn't shy like that at all. No, it's not out of shyness, but it is anxiety. You're overbearing. I thought we were friends, but it feels like every day she's just trying to distance herself more instead of get closer. It makes me feel like she was only spending time with me during the club because I was reading manga. She doesn't actually want to be friends with me. Well, I feel like I'm missing a lot of context here. Was she in the middle of anything when you approached her? No, she was just walking with her friends. Well, that is a thing that she's in the middle of. With her friends. Yuri pauses for a moment. How do I put this? Yuri's actually improving a lot here. Like, for someone who doesn't see herself as being socially adept, what is she doing here? Well, she's searching for the context she's missing. I think correctly grasps it, and is now sensitizing that context for Sayori's fragile little heart. Sayori, you're very fond of your friends, right? You always want to be spending time with them. Of course! I don't think there's anything more important to me. I mean, the best parts of my day are always my friends. Besides that, I really hate being alone. So, you hate being alone? Sayori nods. We're very different people. I cherish my alone time. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So I think, well, if I was trying to have alone time and it was being threatened with an interruption, then threatened. Sayori needs to hear an association like that, though, because she doesn't think of someone's personal time or space as something that like needs any defense, because she just so freely gives hers away. It just would not make me very happy. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with Natsuki. She was already with her friends, not trying to be alone or anything. No, I think it's similar. It's, well, we're all friends in the club, but we have our own lives outside of the club as well. If you think about it, making new friends isn't some casual occurrence that happens on a daily basis. A friendship is an invitation to intertwine your lives together, but the capacity at which each person is ready to do that might be different. There are friends who just like to have fun together, and others who talk every day and share every detail of their lives with each other. I think when establishing a friendship, it's important to consider the comfort level of the other person. Yuri, I think, has always understood certain things at a very intellectual level. It's her performance in the social situations that she may struggle a little bit more with. But given time to really reflect on things, she has like really deep understanding of this stuff. I mean, we don't really know much about Natsuki's life outside the club. It could be that she simply needs to make friends at her own pace, rather than jump headfirst into a new commitment. Ooh, Sayori just being told like that she's a commitment. But she is. And I feel very similar. Like, I actually resonate a lot with Yuri, what she's saying here. And gosh, I would have loved to see this kind of side to her in the main game a little more. Which is that, yeah, any social interaction can feel like a commitment. Anything can, really, depending on just your capacity. I have a tendency, without fail almost, that when someone like asks me to do something, like, hey, do you want to go to this thing? Do you want to like whatever? I almost always say no. And then say yes. Part of that is just like me not wanting to sort of be a recluse and knowing that I should involve myself in more things, because I always end up enjoying it. But I also think it's this too, the commitment part. Like, I almost have to be able to say and establish that no is on the table before I say yes. Because something about that just makes me feel more comfortable saying a yes than sort of feeling the pressure to say yes right away. Like, I imagine it's kind of amusing to my friends and others who say like, oh, do you, it doesn't even have to be like going somewhere. Sometimes it'll be like, do you want a slice of pizza? And I'll be like, no, I'm good, thank you. What kind of pizza is it though? And I don't really see that as like being, it's not a hesitation or an uncertainty about what I want. I just have to establish a no for myself before I commit to a yes, so that it doesn't feel like a commitment. I don't know, maybe it's a little weird. All I'm saying is, I like what she's talking about here. I get it. Someone like Sayori, who is, well, she's a big personality and it requires a lot of energy to be around her, is a commitment. But that means I really was bothering her. I just really wanted to be good friends with her, so I treated her like one. And some part of me also like listens to everything I just said and said, wow, that is so needlessly complicated. Like, I try not to be high maintenance, but yeah, sometimes it's like that. And for someone like Sayori, it is so simple. Like, this person is friend-shaped. I'm going to treat her with friendship. Like, why is it not that simple? I kind of wish it was. Was I actually hurting her? Oh, baby girl. I don't know. I'm sorry. My insight was really only based on what I understand about my own needs. And Natsuki and I are completely different, so why was I so selfish? Even if all that is true, then it still means I hurt her. I think I messed up. Yuri, with you, I think I was really careful to understand your needs when I was becoming friends with you. But I wasn't careful at all with Natsuki because she already seemed really social. She didn't think she had to butter her up. I just took control of everything instead of looking for the right balance. Now I hurt her, and she doesn't want to talk to me. Did I let myself do this? Sayori, she's catastrophizing again. I think that, well, there was one time you told me something about the way I saw things in my head being different from reality. It's easy to automatically jump to the worst case scenario, but I think it's more likely that Natsuki doesn't harbor any ill feelings towards you. So I think if we were to realistically consider the situation and how it would cause someone to feel, I'm bad at this, I'm sorry. You're a lot better than me at things like confronting and reassuring people. Suddenly Sayori gives Yuri a gentle hug. You didn't ask her permission first. You're the best, Yuri. I'm sorry for burdening you with this. You're trying so hard for me. You're such a sweetheart. It's not a burden. I enjoy listening to others, and my friends deserve happiness. Sayori beams. Well, I think I'm gonna give Natsuki some space. She should do what she wants. And if she does still want to be friends, then I'll learn her needs and I'll match her boundaries. It's a very articulately put insight for someone who had basically zero understanding of the situation like 30 seconds ago. And that's another thing I really appreciate about Sayori is she does, like, upon discovery, have a very intuitive grasp of some of these problems. It's the discovery part that I think she's a little too disorganized to take note of. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's best. I wish I didn't feel so awful and guilty. It makes me feel desperate, like I need to make it up to her by trying to make her happy. But that's not what she needs. I just have to tell myself that. It hurts, but I guess it means I still need to grow. Gosh, I just want to give her a little head pat for that little morsel of discovery. It's all going to be okay, Sayori. I really want to grow as a person. If it's to be better for my friends, I want that. Ooh. Can it just be better to grow for yourself as well, though? That's very mature of you, Sayori. I'm mature. Sayori hops up and down on her toes. I don't see why you can't be mature and sprightly as she is. So, does that mean you'll be going home after all? Sayori shakes her head. I need to be here to show her that I respect her space. Is that... Are you sure about that? I'll just spend the club by myself today. Yuri nods in understanding. You can go in first. Okay. You're blocking the door. Oh. Sayori steps aside. By the way, before Yuri enters the club room, Sayori interjects. You said that you and Natsuki are completely different, but I don't really think that's true. I think you're actually really similar in a lot of ways. Yuri smiles and shakes her head. Sayori, that's absurd. You're very silly sometimes. He returns and enters the club room. Perhaps some foreshadowing for the Yuri Natsuki side story. After a moment, Sayori follows. The club room is quiet. When Sayori walks in, Natsuki glances in her direction. Sayori smiles and gives Natsuki a quick wave before sitting down across the room. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. Sayori decides it's best to continue the manga she was reading, so she pulls it out. However, it looks like Natsuki isn't reading today. She has a sheet of paper in front of her and is tapping a pen against her desk, staring at it. You know, as an introspective person herself, Natsuki, I also imagine she is aware of the distress that this causes Sayori. I think Yuri had it spot on. She's not looking with hostility towards Sayori here. She's just cautious. But any amount of not smothering for Sayori is like a total, absolute rejection. It's very confusing. Oh, are we writing today? Monika speaks in a quiet voice, unwilling to disturb the peace of the club room. She kneels down at Natsuki's desk. Hey! Natsuki pulls the sheet closer to her and covers it with her arms. Sorry, I didn't mean to peek. Everyone's just so interested in what you have to say, though, Natsuki. You're very mysterious. Whatever. I just wanted to see how everything was going. It's fine. Natsuki replies dismissively. She glances over at Sayori, who's focused on her manga. Monika follows Natsuki's gaze. I think she's mad at me. How come? I'm busy right now. Ask me later. Monika falls silent. Natsuki looks back down at her paper. She inches her hand away from the top margin, allowing Monika to see. It says, to Sayori. Understanding, Monika smiles. She places a hand on Natsuki's shoulder and whispers softly, I'm proud of you. Oh, that's so nice. Natsuki looks away, but makes no motion to remove Monika's hand. Oh, and she received it as well. Well, everything we know about Natsuki's backstory, I don't imagine she hears that very often. It's very nice of Monika to say that. And also to not meddle further. She took a little temperature check, see if she could help. Realized she's not needed here. Natsuki's got it covered. God damn it, Monika always has some little bit of growth. She just can't help herself. But just be a part of every story. But she's doing good things for them, so it's okay. I love the idea that Natsuki is writing a letter, or maybe even a poem, to Sayori. Monika gives Natsuki's shoulder a quick squeeze before standing back up and pulling away. It's very motherly of her. The end of the club meeting passes. Yuri has already departed. So has Monika, after checking on Sayori and Natsuki to ensure they wouldn't stay too late. Sayori was determined to finish her manga volume before heading out, since the end was approaching. However, with Natsuki also staying late for an unknown reason, a silent tension hangs in the air. Yeah, I'm so curious to get a non-main storyline perspective on Natsuki's home environment and the reason she doesn't go home. The same dynamics still exist for all these characters outside the club, but they've been so much more open talking about them without the anime Brady factor and the chaos of the game itself kind of falling apart. In the last episode, I compared Sayori somewhat favorably and also unfavorably to a golden retriever. And I think the metaphor is pretty appropriate when discussing like Natsuki's specific kind of trauma, which is that I think the easy but incorrect assumption that Sayori would be making, even if she knew about this backstory, was that like, okay, someone like Natsuki, she's been denied emotional comfort and safety and affection at home. Why would she not be open to those things from someone else? Why would there be resistance to the thing that this person actually wants and needs, especially if it's so accessible, from someone else? Well, it is down to how trauma affects narratives in our lives. For example, someone is bitten or attacked by a dog. they may then encounter a nice dog down the line, one that's friendly, and there's no chance of them being harmed by it. But it's the interaction, the context, the lack of preparation that the person has with the new dog that causes a trauma response, not necessarily the known qualities of the dog itself. It's about the fact that this is a surprise, like someone's dog just coming up to the person, not having their own time to assess whether this is a safe creature or not, and then interacting with the cascade of immediate psychological and neurological biases that this person would have towards the sight and sound and smell and interaction with an animal. Like, that's a lot to override, just in a moment, just because someone's like, don't worry, they're a nice dog. It's not that the person wouldn't be happy to engage with a nice dog, but there's a trauma response that overrides the sort of potential for a new narrative experience. The trauma narrative is very powerful and very settled. And Sayori is a little bit like this. She just, comes right up to you and wants to be in your life. And she's a nice dog. She really is. She has all of the pure, harmonious love, care, and affection to give that Natsuki doesn't receive at home. Obviously not the same kind. She can't be a parent to her. But for Natsuki to start working on being more open to people in her life, she would have to start small. Smaller than a Sayori-sized cart full of energy and affection. Which is why I think she was a lot more receptive to something like Monica just offered her. This very motherly, friendly as well, show of encouragement. I only say motherly because Monica's sort of like over multiple people in this environment. She's like the one who created the club, and she feels indebted to its sort of like overall balance. It's more than just a between friends capacity. It's also about the culture and the community that they're all developing and that she's the head of. Why doesn't Natsuki react so strongly to that archetype? Well, they've already had some development together, something that has formed some trust between them, some understanding, and it is not as big of an ask as Sayori puts on the table. Despite all that, I think it's very noteworthy that Natsuki is not entirely resistant. Like, this is more Sayori's work to do, to tone things down. But the fact that she is writing this letter and is very likely to be open with her about what the problem is, like, that takes a lot. That's me having been attacked by a dog, going up to, slowly, a nice dog and being willing to initiate that, even though I might have a trauma narrative around it. So, A+ Natsuki. After finishing the volume, Sayori brings it to the closet to put it away. She slides it back onto the shelf while Natsuki watches. Then, Natsuki gets up and pulls it back out in order to return it to its proper location. Sorry. I didn't know where it's supposed to go. It's fine. The two fall silent again, avoiding eye contact. They both look like they're about to say something, but neither can break the silence. A moment passes. Well, I'll be on my way. See you tomorrow. Sayori turns away to hide her pained expression, and then walks away from the closet. Oh, that was so big of her, though. Oh, gosh. But see, like, it also goes in the other direction. A bite-sized chew of respecting someone's boundaries is, like, kind of difficult for Sayori. I think what we can see from all of these scenarios, both main game and side stories, is that you can tell how much I advocate for the iterative approach to change. So much of what I've described in how, we would work on these situations are like, okay, we're not trying to scale down from 10 to 0 here. We're trying to go down one step from an 8 to a 7. We're not trying to completely redevelop our communication habits. We're trying to just find small success. Like, I not only think it makes things a lot more manageable to break them down into smaller parts. We know that our brains certainly enjoy this. Progress is more measurable, and your understanding of the problems and their solutions deepen, because skipping ahead really doesn't tell you much about how you got there. For Sayori, I find this to be a bigger moment even though it's like so insignificant, but like I said, I train myself to notice those things and try to highlight them for people if we don't notice them ourselves, which is that Sayori catastrophizes. She embiggens every problem. Like, she hates me now. Well, it's also very likely that the things she does about that are to be extreme. She hates me. I'll never talk to her again. Like, the deeper the imagined crisis, the greater the compensation for it. And so for Sayori to both feel that she's hated and not respond with total and absolute rejection is like really great for her. She took a very small step here, which was just like, just don't smother her. Just one time. And she had to, like, she turned away and grimaced. Like, I'm proud of Sayori for this little moment. If there was any proof Natsuki no longer wanted to be friends, this was a shit. I spoke too soon. Well, I'm proud of the behavior, but not the reflection. This was the right move for her, but she has embiggened the consequence without validating whether it's real. Defeated, Sayori carries herself out of the room. Once in the hallway, Sayori takes a deep breath and hits her palms against her cheeks to clear her head a little. But you did the right thing. Suddenly, Natsuki's stammering voice calls from behind. Natsuki? Startled, Sayori turns back around to face Natsuki. This will be interesting. Shall it be Natsuki who initiates the change dialogue, rather than Sayori discovering it herself? Natsuki fidgets and anxiously continues with a shaking voice. I have a lot of things to say. Me too. But you go first. Natsuki bites her lip and can't stay still. Well, first of all, she cuts herself short, struggling to continue. Trying to force the words out, she stamps her foot and hops up and down a little. I'm sorry for the thing I did at lunch. And I'm sorry for just being kind of mean lately. It's really hard for me to I'm not good with things that make me uncomfortable. Especially when it comes to like feelings and stuff. So, face burning, Natsuki clams up again. Oh my gosh, this is so great. This is the two greatest character archetypes. The Tsundere and the cinnamon bun. Shyly recognizing their mutual respect for one another beneath blushed cheeks and nervous posture. I love it. Instead of continuing, she simply holds up a sheet of paper for Sayori to take. Oh, a poem. The best place in the world. I love my bedroom. It's full of bright colors and soft things. The sunlight shines in and makes everything sparkle. It's the best place in the world. It has all my treasures, all my books, my collections, my memories. All of my dreams were born in this room. It's the best place in the world. It has all my secrets, all my failures, my fears, my feelings. Sometimes it feels so fragile that the door will break at the slightest touch, but it's still the best place in the world. But when someone knocks, I get scared. I brace my arms against the loose hinges. Please don't break. Don't come in. I'm not ready. It's my best place in the world. Knocking won't stop. I block the door with furniture. An eye peeks through the keyhole. And I panic. I'm trapped in the best place in the world. Oh my god, that is such a great line. Okay, wait, I have to continue, but holy shit. I'm not ready to share my favorite place. I need to clean my secrets and make my bed, to hide my nightmares. I need to touch them to put them away, to see them again. I have so much to do, and I'm scared. I'm not ready. But it's still my favorite place. I still want to share it. However long it takes, if you wait patiently, I'll eventually open the door, and I'll show you the best place in the world. Okay. Natsuki has written some amazing poems. but I might love this one the best. She has this amazing style, and credit to Dan Salvato and anyone who helps him write for this game, that they write all of these stories, but that Natsuki has such a clear voice and style. That's like really hard to do as a writer, is give like lots of different characters unique voices and styles. But it really shines through. What I find really striking about her writing is that there is this like emotional ambition behind so many of them. This like, I want to be something. Even her first one that we saw, eagles can fly, people can try, but like not much else, or however it went. There is always this emotional ambition, this like aspiration to be someone better, to have deeper access to feelings, and there's a yearning for that emotional sensitivity and an acceptance that it always comes with tension. It's not like I wish I didn't have these stupid emotions, because without them I'd be so much stronger, I'd be so much more capable, they wouldn't get in my way. I think Natsuki recognizes the beauty of emotions. They're abstract, often imparsible meanings, that they are a compromise. Like, to be led by emotions is to always be somewhat insecure, either how you feel and especially about how someone else feels, but that they are worth keeping anyways, because beautiful things come from them. She talks about them like they're the most powerful and most fragile things in the world, and I think that they are as well. And this poem really captures that for me, especially this line: I am trapped in the best place in the world. This might be one of the best lines I've ever read. Definitely in this game, but like just in general. Like, it is such a clear statement. It just puts into words something that I often feel, which is that it's painful to love something. The deeper you are attached to something, the more afraid you are to lose it. Whether that's another person, an aspect of yourself, a time in your life, anything. And the more we strive to deepen our attachments to things, because it comes with so many benefits, it also comes with a lot of pressure to maintain that attachment, to fear losing it or ruining it. And what she's talking about here is like, she's created this cocoon of the world by her design, right? This room with all of her special things in it. Herself, essentially. This love of self. But it's so terrifying to share it with people that it can also feel isolating. I want to share everything that's in my room, in my life, but we don't know if that fundamentally changes what has been special about it, which is that it is my best place in the world, as she says here. Please don't break, don't come in, I'm not ready. Everyone wants a piece of my slice of life. No, it's not quite like that, but I also love that it's not just nice things. It's all of the secrets, failures, my fears, my feelings. And when she says that she's not ready, it's because she needs to clean the secrets, make my bed to hide my nightmares. There's so much to do and I'm scared, I'm not ready. Yeah, it's one thing to love naturally parts of yourself and parts of your private life, but you also know that when you start to share them, an aspect of them does become presentation. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's always performative, like, oh, I have to like dress something up to appear a certain way for people. But we care about presentation. She spent her life in this room, in her own life. Light hits things in just the right way that it sparkles for her. It's a very scary thing to imagine, showing that to someone else and the light hitting differently. If you have ever shared a special memory with someone and they did not give a shit at all about it, then you know this feeling. I certainly have felt it. That it makes you not want to share certain things with people anymore. Maybe it's enough to just have it be for you. And yet that is the feeling trapped part of it. That like, I've experienced something profoundly meaningful and changing to me. And someone I want just not to also experience it, but just to know that I went through it. Like that's also a desire that we all have sometimes. And there's a risk that that rejection makes you, like I said, not want to share it. But then it does feel like it's missing something, which is being able to share it with people. Well, I love this poem. I love that she wrote it for herself and also for Sayori, and that she did it in like a day. Like, what the fuck? It's incredible. I love it. I hope Sayori loves it too. What am I saying? I know she will. It's a poem. But I thought, well, I sucked it up so that I could work things out with you. So just be happy about it. Please. Sayori smiles deeply from the bottom of her heart, happier than I could express. It feels so awful, so happy that you would do this for me. I actually realized before the club meeting today that I made a mistake. I got so caught up in the chance to get closer to you that I forgot to think about what you wanted, and that we probably have different ways we like to make friends. About the, like, friendship stuff, I mean, it's okay. I understand. So you don't have to force yourself to talk about it. So don't force yourself if you're not ready yet. Okay? Natsuki nods. You don't have to feel like you did anything wrong. It was my fault, and I'm sorry. We did get... This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite, side story, because, well, they've both shared in development about the same subject, but from different angles. The last story with Natsuki and Monika was really more of Monika needing to make the change, but I think that this represents an important subject for both of them, really. How they handle vulnerability. I wasn't mad at you today or anything like that. I actually felt really guilty and I wanted to give you space. Which is so foreign to receive from Sayori, so it probably just feels like very weird. I was thinking it's silly that I just approach you all the time and that I should just let you approach me when you want to. Just whatever you makes you comfortable. I'll respect that from now on. Friendship should always start with those things. With the right balance. We love an insightful Sayori, don't we? Don't we, you all? Natsuki nods again. One thing about that. Well, I don't want to have to approach you all the time either. I just want it to be balanced. Like you said. Sayori nods. I understand. We'll make sure of that together then. Oh. Well, anyway. Now that the two of them have found common ground, Natsuki finds it easier to speak more freely again. I'm not going to be, like, sharing my poems all the time now or anything like that. Oh, yeah, we're back in Tsundere mode. But I guess it wouldn't hurt to do it once in a while. Only the best ones. So you better like them, because otherwise I might change my mind. I like anything you do, Natsuki. I was just saying. More importantly, I have to tell you about my new boyfriend. What? 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 It's gotta be like a character in the manga. She's understood shipping. Huh? Oh, from the manga! Wait, I need to guess who it is. You definitely won't be able to guess. The two walk down the hallway together. I love this for them. Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. Darn, I should have told you to save the last two chapters so I could see your reaction to the big reveal. You wanted to enjoy it with me. That's so cute. Oh, shush. Oh, what a wonderful little tale. Gosh, they really are so fun together. Well, that leaves only 2 more of these side stories before we wrap up the series for good. It's almost coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this series. I think I will try to finish it before we get to that point. These characters have just occupied so much space in my mind over this past year, and I'm glad that there's a little slice of it left. Well, friends, that wraps up another episode of The Side Stories. As always, I look forward to discussing more of these characters with you in the next one. So please look forward to it. And in the meantime, do be good to yourselves. And we will see each other again soon for the next one. Until then, take care, everyone.